Planet X TV.
Well, the key thing is to understand what your mission is, what your purpose is. What are you providing that others are going to find very useful? If you answer that question, then you're going to have a natural market. And then if you can't do marketing yourself, a lot of good brains out there, find people who can help you get the word out. Well, there are numerous ways you can get messages out. We all know about social media. So unlike days of old where you had a handful of ways to do it, they're almost infinite now. And so the key thing is, do you have something to say that's quick and catchy, that gets people's attention? What product or service are you providing that people are going to find useful? And don't be afraid of failure. You learn when things don't work. Often when success, people get undone by success because they actually think they know what they're doing and don't recognize that people's preferences change each and every day. Well, politics is always going to be there because you're always going to have government. The key thing is to win the battle of ideas, that the role of government is to provide an environment where people find it easier to work with one another, exchange with one another, invest, and not have to spend inordinate amounts of time on idiotic regulations and trying to fight off a government that wants more and more control. The internet, for example, should not be subject to 1932 dial-up regulations that the Obama administration opposed almost a year ago. That should be absolutely eliminated. They're now trying to have the EPA regulate farms on the idea that somehow CO2 comes out of crops, even though it's absolute no scientific basis. They find any excuse they can to get their hooks into you. We have to say no hooks. You provide a good environment, sensible rules of the road, and that's it. Forbes magazine is part of Forbes Media. And again, getting to what the late, great guru Peter Drucker said, he said, understand your purpose, and then you don't get hung up the means to achieve it change over time. Because we've been very vigorous on the web, our print, the magazine, is doing very well. Paid circulation is as high today as it was 10 years ago. Advertising's down, but in terms of a readership of the magazine, it's at a record high. So if you get the right message, you get good content creation as we now do with 1,800 contracted contributors online, you can make it in this world. But you also have to remind yourself, especially with the rise of handhelds, mobile devices, things are always changing. Schumpeter talked about creative destruction. The creative part's very nice, but you also have to be prepared for the destructive part in terms of meeting the needs and wants of other people. The key thing is, if you have an idea and an itch to do it, go do it. If it doesn't work, you'll always learn. You'll learn if you have the temperament for it. And the nice thing is, if you succeed, we all succeed. Commerce is not zero-sum. Your success is our success. So go to it.
The brightest stars in the galaxy are on Planet X. Only here.